everyone. This is Survivor Empower Life Coach Financial, and this is my YouTube channel. My name is Alicia, and I'm the CEO. And tonight, we're going to be interviewing Miss Marva. And she's going to give you a little bit about herself, and we're going to talk about her journey and the career she actually is currently in and how she got there and what's her next step in life. So, Miss Marva, please take the floor and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Marva. I'm a registered nurse and have been a nurse for quite some time, a few decades, and I absolutely love the field I'm in. I've never wanted to do anything else. I've looked around, came right back to nursing. So, I mean, this is what I've always wanted to do since childhood, and I absolutely love my job.
Okay. Okay. So tell me one thing. You say you loved your job and you've thought about it since childhood. So can you give us an idea when the seed was planted?
Yes, I remember at age 7, I was asked, what do you want to be? And the only thing that came out of my mouth was, I want to be a nurse. The next question was, why do you want to be a nurse? And my response was, I love helping people. At age 7, I have never looked back. I have never looked to the right nor to the left. I've explored other options, but I still came back to nursing.
Wow, that's nice. A lot of people don't carry through their dream that far. So what kept you on that path? Because a lot of kids say a lot of things at that age, but what happened when you got to high school? You still felt the same way? Did you ever detour?
Never detoured. I think it has to do with an innate, something in me innate that wants to help others. You know, women are nurturers.
Yes, we are.
And so there's that want or need or desire to help and to nurture and to just see someone. You want to see people feeling better, and if I can be a tiny part of that, I want to be. And you know, I've seen throughout my career how I have influenced and impacted people's lives for the better in many, many ways. It's a passion for me, and so I really put my heart and soul into it. Not saying there aren't times I've felt frustrated and the paperwork, it can be just overwhelming, but I mean, honestly, there's nothing else I want to do. I've gone from novice, novice to expert so many times during my journey, that it's incredible. And I mean, novice to expert, meaning after I left nursing school, I was a novice and I grew, learned, gained experience, and then I, was confident in my ability and my skill set. And so that was good. Then I decided to go back to school, and I was again a novice, going toward being an expert in that area, education. And now I'm embarking on another journey where I'm starting from novice to expert, but it's all in the field that I totally enjoy. And so I've decided to advance myself each step of the way so that I'm equipped to take care of people, and I'm equipped to do the job, to provide quality care and to be the best version of myself possible.
Wow. Listening to you, I definitely would want you for my nurse and more. So you definitely, definitely have motivated me that if I'm going to the hospital, I'm going to ask you which hospital you're at. I'm coming there, and I'm going to ask for you. It's like going to a store and I want I want her. No, I'm going to another hospital. I'll take my money away. But without that being said, was there anyone in your family that you think might have shaped you a little bit and kind of stirred that? Was there a role model that you saw in your surrounding, in your environment?
Well, my mom was a nurse. She was in nursing. She wasn't a nurse, but she was in the field of nursing, worked at a hospital. So I'm just kind of thinking that that may have influenced me when I think about it, because she put her white uniform on every night and went to work. So maybe that did, but you know, as a child, if I saw a guy beating a dog and I cried at 7 years old, I cried like nobody's business. I don't like see people hurt. I don't like to see anyone being harmed in any way. And it's just like a personal thing that if I can make someone better, I want to make someone better.
You're very
You know,
empathetic.
it's not I'm not being cocky in by any means, but I thought one day if I was to be hospitalized, and I have been, who would I want to be my nurse? And I thought I would want someone like you, Margaret, to be my nurse. And the reason is, and I said, I thought to myself, but why? Because I really do care. And I really do care about seeing good outcomes. I really do care about listening to my clients. I do care that they feel heard and seen and that they're an integral part of their care. It's not just like, oh, I'm in the authority figure. You do what I say. No, you are a part of this. You're a part of the team that's taking care of you, and your input matters. You know yourself better than anyone else. So I my patients there, you know, whatever they feel definitely is important to me. And I've always said, you know, I educate my clients and I go above and beyond to do so, whether by sending printed information or just verbal instructions, because an educated consumer is my best customer. When a client knows what's going on, you get buy-in. It's a win-win situation.
True,
And
true.
so isn't it just like logical to have that person on the team? I mean, I know.
You know, common sense is not common. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things that's just not the norm. Being empathy, feeling, conscious, just being aware to just being honest. There's a lot of things that's just not normal. So yes, it makes a lot of sense, and I agree with you 100%, but we have a very
Long way to
variety
go.
diverse society.
I
And
agree. I
some of them
agree.
are in that occupation. So
Mhm.
another thing I want to ask you, on your journey, has it been tough? Has it been easy? Because you're very clear on what you want. You're very focused. So someone that focused, did you just get in the car and go, vroom, or what? How did you get there?
Okay, so I started from the bottom. I was in high school and I wanted earning power, and I knew that I wanted to be a nurse. I started from scratch by becoming a nurse's aide.
Mm-hmm.
I worked as a nurse's aide. I did all the job responsibilities and did it well. Whatever I do, I like to do it very well. And then I started nursing school. I started college at the age of 18. And again, I was in the nursing program or that track. So along the way, it was a 4-year college. So halfway through the program, we were through nursing school, that is, I was given the opportunity to take the LPN exam. LPNs are licensed
Mm-hmm.
practical nurses. They answer to the RN.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took that exam because I wasn't sure of myself. You know, the confidence wasn't there yet. So I figured if when I finished the RN program a year later, if I didn't pass the board, then I could fall back on the LPN license that I had. And I remember renewing the license and everything. However, when I finished my RN degree, I took the boards and passed. So that was great. And I started working at Columbia Presbyterian as an RN. And I was so hungry and thirsty to gain knowledge, to get experience. The summer before I graduated, I did an externship program at Columbia, and
Mm-hmm.
they put me in the Neurological Institute where, I mean, it was all about inserting Foley's. I became an expert at doing that. I knew how to position how to get that catheter in the male organ.
Mhm.
And I mean, they would started calling me, a nursing student, to come and insert Foley's. That's what the nurses were doing. And there were great nurses who honestly gave me that experience, allowed me to give injections, and that's where I started building my confidence, because once I got it, once you showed me the proper technique and all of that, I got it. And so as soon as I graduated, they hired me. And I mean, again, you're like an eager beaver. Anything they do, you wanted this? Yep, me, I'll go. Let me do it. And then, so I've worked in various settings during my career thus far.
Mhm.
I've been on a med surg unit. I've been on multi-specialty unit with telemetry, and I've administered chemotherapy. I've been in home care. I've been various settings. And I remember being in home care, and I went from hospice to acute care to congregate care to, I mean, to intake, then to the managed long-term program. And somebody said, gosh, Marva, you don't stay still. I said, no, because I'm ever learning. I want to always I just want knowledge. So let me move from place to place. And when I reach a plateau, time to go. I said, time to go, got to go now. And I think life is a journey where you learn from, I think, from the day you're born until the day you die. Children well, babies, they come out, and hey, I think there's some form of learning there. And so I just want to be a lifelong learner. I want to gain knowledge for as long as, I think keeping my brain active is just a great way to stay alert and to ward off many things that could happen to people.
I agree with you. Definitely, I'm very impressed. So balancing, I mean, just listening to you, all the different jobs and titles. Now, I'm not in the medical field, so a lot of these titles are familiar, but not familiar. So I know the base, the bare essential of what is, what require, but I really have no idea. So I'm not gonna ask you to get that deep, but navigating all these things, every time you made a move, was it money related or just change? You just wanted to change.
It was never a monetary situation for me. Never. I remember when I was going from like a field nurse, there was an opportunity to become they call it a regional staff development specialist, where I would orient the new nurses and teach them, the fundamentals, and go out with them. Like, you do a buddy system where you go out and you fill out tools on their progress and all of that. I was nervous, but again, because I see my journey as a continuous learning experience, boy, I took a dive right into that. And I was nervous because I don't like public speaking. And with that position, you had to speak, you have to teach, and you have to teach sometime in front of the entire staff, which could be 100 people. And, I braved it and did what I had to do. Was I the best always? Certainly not. But it was always about knowledge, continuous knowledge, acquiring knowledge, learning a different skill set. Why would I want to stay one place when there's so much out there?
True.
So much to learn. I think that diverse knowledge makes me a fully rounded nurse in a lot of ways. The only thing that I didn't get to do, which I really wanted to do and may still do, is the intensive care. Because when I applied at Columbia at that time, it was a coveted field or coveted area, so I didn't get to go there. But I'm honestly thinking about it.
I hear a lot about it. So definitely, and I definitely see you walking in and being the boss you are and taking charge in a quiet way.
Yes.
I think
yes.
about you. You're quiet. Your presence is seen, but it's quiet. You don't come through the door, bang, bang. You come in, and once you come in, your energy just flow. And people stop, I feel something, and they look around, it's you.
Yeah.
Listening to you talk and knowing you as well, that's That's the vibe. That's the energy you give off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how did you balance that with family?
You know what? Whenever I'm motivated to do something, nothing stops me. I'm a very organized person. So I tell my kids, everybody that knows me, organization is 50% of the work. So for example, when I went back to school for my master's, I had my mom, which was great. My mother would help me. But I organized my life to the point where my kids didn't feel it. Maybe I did, but they didn't. And I try to organize it so that even during my lunch break at work, I would do my papers and things like that, so that when I came home, I could be present for the kids. But and I also took advantage of going to school on Sundays, not only to avoid being in school on weekdays, but also to accelerate my graduation date, because I was supposed to do the program in 2 years. I did it in a year and a half. And
Kudos.
motivation. And I had set a goal for myself that by this age, you need to have your master's. And then after that, I said, oh, I think that's good enough. Then after a while, reached a plateau, and I was like, gosh, I need to go back to school. So I started looking at doing business or computer science and all of that. I got accepted into a program for Masters in Business Administration.
Mhm.
And I got accepted, because I hadn't gotten accepted into the current program I just started.
Mhm.
So when I went ahead now to go ahead with the other program, I got the communication that I was accepted into this current program, which is a family nurse practitioner. I dropped the other program and went with this. So that's how I know that nursing is my passion, because I got accepted. It turned out into 2 master's programs. And which did I choose? Nursing.
Mhm.
And the reason I chose the family nurse practitioner, I see it as an avenue for me to teach, which is something I ultimately can do when I'm looking at retirement. You can teach 1 or 2 days a week, and call it that. But more than that, for me, it's imparting the knowledge that I have.
Mhm.
It's like just doing something for the next generation of nurses that are coming out. And the passion, maybe I can even infuse that into some people, possibly. And I would love to do that. Nurses need to choose this profession because they want to do it. It's not about the money. It is about a passion, because when you have a passion, you're going to do a good job.
So you obviously, your passion is to stay in that field, and you don't have to think about it. You automatically gravitate to it. So you're one of few individuals that I've spoken to, because I'm sure there's many, who have stuck with their original plan from day one and carried all the way through to this point in time.
Right.
So if you could choose, and I know you're not going to, but if you could choose anything else and money was not an issue, I know it's not, but money was not an issue, what would you choose? What other career would you choose?
I would have gone on to become a physician. When I was in nursing school, I went to Downstate Medical Center, and I met with, pre-med students and all of that. And that was something that I thought about doing. I had the grade point average. I felt it. I wanted to do it. But guess what stopped me? I wanted to have a family. And I decided I couldn't spend 8 years, 4 years doing the program, and then 2 years in an internship, and then another 2 in residency. So that's why I didn't go on to med school. But and it's still in the same field, basically. I would have become a physician. I would have, definitely. And it wouldn't have been for the money either. It's
Nice,
definitely.
nice. So, as we continue to move forward, what would you tell a young person who is considering the medical field? They want to go, and there's so many different avenues today. Like, for example, my stepdaughter is a respiratory specialist. I didn't know about that until she graduated, and that was
Mhm.
before COVID. And then after COVID, it's like, oh my God, it's the biggest thing since white rice. So what would you say to somebody who's struggling to be a nurse? Because I know someone, they want to be a nurse, they're having a hard time passing, I guess, some certain level to get into the nursing program. There's something that you have to take prior to get into the nursing program. And every time they come to the test, they have a very difficult time. What advice would you give someone like that?
Okay, so when I was in nursing school, no kidding, I was put on a wait list. I started at Hunter College and I was waitlisted for the program. But when I was applying to programs, because you had to apply to all of them, even if you were currently attending the school, I applied to other programs. And so that was because I was determined not to let one school tell me you're waitlisted, but I was not putting my eggs in one basket. I applied to like 4 different programs and got into downstate. So my advice to people who are maybe you may see barriers, don't give up. Don't give up. I had to stop at one point and work for like, it was 6 months. I got a full-time job and I worked because I knew I had to save money to pay for the next semester several times. You know, I had to work and do all of that, but I was determined. My focus was graduation. I had people tell me, oh, you don't know if you're going to graduate. And I said, oh, yeah. I said, I am graduating.
Hi, we ran out of time. We're going to wrap it up now, and we will be inviting Marva back to finish up this interview at another time. She got so much more to tell us. So we will see y'all later. Bye.